what's up? It's Samantha. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and hello again if you are returning. So today's video is going to be a little different. I normally post like singing covers and stuff, but I was live streaming on Twitch the other day, and I was in the middle of an Avril Lavigne stream, and it was my very first song that I was playing with my electric guitar, and my very first string ever broke on stream. So the topic of changing guitar strings came up, and a lot of my friends that were watching my stream were like, you know, I probably should change my strings, but I don't know how. So I was like, maybe I'll just show y'all how I change my strings. So I'm going to be changing the strings on both of my guitars. I will hopefully be going into the studio soon, so I want some fresh, live, beautiful sounding strings, and I honestly probably don't change my strings as often as I should, but it is a good thing to know how to do on your own so you don't have to pay someone else to do it. And it's really not that hard. So I'm going to be showing you, this is my acoustic paisley. Now for my acoustic, I'm actually trying out a new set of strings. I like a medium gauge string. This is just what I'm using. Let's get into it. I will do my best to get good angles so you can see everything that's happening. We'll be changing all the strings. I'll probably just go in detail of one string, but I'm going to be changing all the strings on my acoustic. Okay, so the sun is starting to go down. I'm going to try to work as fast as I can, but first things first, this is a super handy tool that I love using. It's just a string winder, and then it also has like these string cutters, and then right here it's got a thing for grabbing the tune or grabbing the pegs at the bottom, but I'll get into that. I really love this tool. It makes this so much easier. But first things first, you're gonna go through and just loosen all the strings, and you'll hear the pitch getting lower as it's loosening up. But we just want to loosen the strings so that when we cut them, they don't smack us in the face. Alright, now that all the strings are loosened, we are just gonna go through and snip all of these. There we go. Now we're just gonna take all of these out. Just be very careful because these are sharp. Just be careful. So I'm just unwinding them at the head right now and pulling them through. Alright, and now for the bottom, that's when this little thing's gonna come in handy. You're just gonna put this over each of those little pegs and pull them out. I'm gonna set them right where I can see them so Ari doesn't get them, and then you just lift out the string. Now that we have all the strings off, I like to take this opportunity to give my guitar a little love because we have our hands all over these things and they collect a bunch of dust. Like, look at look at the head of this guitar. And like you can see all the fingerprints all over the neck. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to just wipe down my guitar. Hey, at least I know I'm using more of the fretboard these days because there's fingerprints all over this. Ugh, that is so gross. Now it's time to start on the strings. So what you're gonna wanna do is take your strings, and on the back, all the numbers are like the size of the strings. 13, this is the smallest one. So this is the high E string. This is the low E string. The thicker the string, the bigger the number. Oh, I didn't know that. These are color-coded. Very cool. Different guitar strings are different. Some are color-coded, some are not. So I will start with my low E string. So what you're gonna do is you are going to take this end that goes in the bottom. You're gonna put it just a little bit in that little hole. And then you're gonna take one of those pegs that you had, and there's a little notch. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little notch, and you want that notch to go in line with the string and push that down in there. Hold down the notch and give it a tug just to make sure it's in there and that peg is not going to come out. See what I mean? It's in there. All right. Now this is where the magic happened. The low E is the closest. So it goes E, A, D, G, B, E. You want to have it slightly angled out, and I put the string in going towards the outside. And then you also put the string in that little notch where it goes. Now, I'm not very good at guessing how much slack the string needs, but you want it, when you're winding it up, you want to leave enough slack over here that it can wrap around this peg at least once. So I usually give it more than it needs, but I'd rather give it too much than not enough. So we have our string facing out this way. What I like to do is kink it back towards me, go underneath. This is the hardest one because it's the thickest one. See how I wrapped it underneath this part? Ready? So I folded it underneath, and then you kink it back to where it came from. I hope I was not blocking that too much. So again, you just wrap it. It's already got the kinks in it now, but you wrap it back towards you, underneath the rest of the string, and then fold it back. And that little kink kind of just help keep the tension. All right, and then now it's time to wind it. You're gonna wanna hold this down so it stays in place in this notch. I'm probably over explaining it, but I just really want you guys to get it. And then when you wind it, you want this part to wrap towards the outside, like towards away from the head of the guitar. So counterclockwise for this side. See how it's wrapping towards the outside? So I'm using the string winder. You don't have to use a string winder, but this is why I say it goes a lot faster when you have one. And when you're winding it, you want it to wrap underneath. So you want each wind to wrap underneath. This is not a very good example. This one's getting stuck on the nut. There we go. All right. There we go. See, it's wrapping underneath. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can. Yeah, see, it's wrapping multiple times. It's gonna take quite a bit of the tuning peg, but that's okay. And you just want to wind it with the winder until it starts to get tight. And then we're gonna grab the tuner and tune it. Yeah, I left a lot on here. See, that's okay. That's fine. As long as it wraps around at least once, you're good. I just want to make sure it keeps winding underneath. And then I can start to let go of it. Yeah, it's going to stay in there now. This is the part that's so scary. Like, we want to make sure that that notch at the bottom stays tight. I'm going to start hand winding it. And you can also stretch your strings, like pull on them, because as they start to break in, they're going to lose tension anyways. And this is when we grab our tuner. All right, so I have my trusty tuner, and it's gonna go flat as you use it in the beginning because the string is stretching, but just to get it close. All right, so G. I'm gonna go a little bit sharp just because it's gonna loosen up. All right, there we go. Now that string is on, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take that wire cutter again and trim it right where it starts to stick out. And there we go. We have a guitar string on. I'm going to put all the other corresponding strings in the right spot, and we will have it. it beautiful? I'm only kidding. Like I said, when you put new strings on, they're getting used to the new tension and they're loosening up. So you will need to tune your guitar more often at first till you break your strings in. So just be aware of that. They will go out of tune for a little bit. The only difference with the electric is instead of having to take these pegs out, you literally, once you loosen the strings, you cut them, and they literally just slide out of the bottom of the guitar, so you don't have to worry about these. A key thing to remember is there is a lot of tension on these strings, so once they stay in place, once they're tight enough to stay in place up here, I really like to keep a finger on these little knobs, the pegs, just to make sure that that does not come loose. And watch where you're holding your face. Just, you know, be careful, use common sense, because these are sharp. I've never had anything bad happen to me when changing strings, but it's better to be cautious. But yeah, so I'm gonna give this one last tune and hear how these new babies sound. Oh yeah, that sounds so good. I cannot wait to get into the studio. These strings sound so alive. Totally not giving you a preview of my new song. Anyways, I hope that you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any further questions, please let me know in the comments. I hope that this helps some of you guys. I know I was super scared the first couple times I changed my strings, but it's really not that hard. It does take a little bit of time, but it's so nice. And your guitar will appreciate that wipe down in the middle. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it to your fellow musician friends that might need some help. Watch it as many times as you need. And again, if you have any more questions, let me know. And yeah, I'll hopefully see you in another video. If you want to check out some of my covers, if you haven't already, I do live stream music on Twitch 3 times a week. So if you're looking to hang out with the community, request some songs, it kind of has those cozy campfire vibes where we just hang out, sing songs, talk to each other all around the world. But anyway, until next time, you have a great day and I will see you soon. Bye!